Hey everybody, this is Captain Muñiz with Nomad Fishing, and today it's September 6th, 2024, and I'm bringing you the fishing report. It's Friday and the weather looks pretty good. After a few days of pretty stiff winds earlier in the week, it's settled down quite a bit, and the weather's actually quite nice, and it's expected to be nice through the weekends. They're predicting winds of about 10 knots or so for Friday through Sunday, so if you haven't already made plans to get out, I'd go ahead and make plans. There actually hasn't been a lot of boats out on the edge. It's been pretty quiet. I think the combination of the heat and kids going back to school is kind of limiting the number of people out on the water. So if you get a chance, now's a good time. Offshore, there's been some mahi. We caught some mahi earlier this week. I believe it was on Tuesday. We went offshore. It was still pretty rough out, pretty sloppy, but we decided to go out there anyway and take a look. It wasn't the easiest run, but kind of just putted our way out there, and we found some fish in about 1,200 feet of water. There wasn't a lot of debris or weed lines or anything like that. A little bit of scattered weed out there, and a couple birds working. We found some birds working, and that's where we found our fish. Other than that one pack of birds, we really didn't see a whole lot. So it's not to say that there aren't more fish out there. There are, but they were just hard to find with all that wind. So now that the wind's died down a little bit, they should be a little bit easier to spot. Moving in a little closer to the edge, for you guys that like to troll, there's been some wahoo on the edge, especially in and around the full moon period. The wahoo have been pretty consistent. If you're offshore and you find debris, you can troll around it or jig. And if you're on the edge, they're hitting both strips of bonita and spoons. A 3.5 drone spoon works well with the planer. So that's another option. If you prefer to anchor up, there's still some muttons around. There's been some yellowtails. The key is to find the right current. We tried some yellowtailing on Tuesday afternoon, but it was tough. We either had too much current on the deeper spots or no current on the shallower spots, where we kind of went from one extreme to the other. The key to the yellowtailing is finding a good light current, anywhere between like 1 mile an hour or 2 mile an hour is usually ideal. Anything above that starts to get a little hard to present your baits correctly. If you're into inshore fishing, there's still some tarpon around the bridges, and also some snook action at night, both on the bridges and around the inlets. So that's another thing that you can do. The inshore fishing is kind of quiet right now. There's a few small snapper and stuff like that. It'll probably pick up once the weather cools off a little bit. We start getting our first runs of bait, mullet, and we'll start to see some larger schools of pilchards come in, and then we can, we can do some better inshore fishing. Well, guys, with that said, I'm gonna let you go. It's Captain Muñiz with Nomad Fishing. I'll see you next time.